What's up next leaders, Rogier here to help you systemize and automate your business so that you can capitalize on your unique gifts. Today, I just wanted to give you a small update and review of Webinarjam. I've been using Webinarjam for the start, I don't even know, maybe 2011 then when they started with this type of marketing software. I don't know, but is it still that good? I'm going to answer that question because there are many more players at the moment in the webinar space at the moment. So I've just logged out of one of my webinars with Webinarjam, and just wanted to share you a few tops and cons of using Webinarjam. So stay with me and let's dive into Webinarjam for your marketing and sales webinars. Okay, welcome on my screen, and yes, I will accept this challenge of answering the question, is Webinarjam still the best webinar software out there? And to be honest, this is a question that I cannot really answer, but I'm going to do my best. And if you think, yeah, Roger, you're on point, let me know down into the comments. Thank you. And I'm trying to make this a little bit easier for me by answering some sub-questions. And consider that I'm focused on my audience, and my audience are coaches, trainers selling high-end courses. First sub-question, is it user-friendly for them? Is it a software that I can use without tech knowledge, without a lot of tech knowledge? Second, is it helpful or working when you're doing this for marketing and sales purposes, not for team meetings and that kind of stuff. No, sales marketing. And third, hey, how does it compare with other webinar software price-wise? And I'm not doing a super extensive deep dive, maybe another video. Now I'm just looking at Webinarjam. All right, back to me and my screen here. You see the Webinarjam main page. This is, of course, their marketing. This is what they claim that you can do. Up to 5,000 attendees, up to 6 presenters. So you can interview other people all in HD, fast, good audio, good quality. Of course, I mean, these are all things we nowadays expect. I mean, 10 years back, 5 years back, okay, this was new. But now it's, what I wanted to say is this is something we can really need to count on. These are cool things, live chats. Like I said, I've done a lot of webinars with other types of software, and these are nice things because the live chat, because it's something of an engagement. It's a room where people are talking, discussing, and you as an administrator or as a host can sticky announcements, and you can also highlight relevant comments. And those things are pretty helpful during a bigger webinar, and especially when you have like a co-host or something. Super helpful. And this, automated recordings. That's a cool option. I haven't really seen in other types of webinar software, but you can inject a video. So if you have, like, for example, I had a timer in my last webinar I created a small video with some music, and I injected that from Vimeo. And I like that. That's a cool feature. I don't have to share my screen. I can just press inject and bam, there's a video. Can be cool. And also, of course, you can have like maybe 10 minutes of a training. It's something that you are, it's recapturing or summarizing again and again and again. Now you can have a video doing that. So that's kind of nice. Shadowing. I want to shadow a single room, start a session right now. I want to run a series. That works pretty well. I'm going to show you it right now. Attendee spotlight. I haven't used this, but you are able to ask the audience, and at that point also highlight one or spotlight, give somebody in the spotlight on the hot seat and have them in your webinar. But that's not totally new. I mean, with a Zoom software, of course, this is also possible. And of course, it also works with mobile and with some stock photographs. I see this picture everywhere. And it works. Also, this is something, the page builder, it's not fantastic, I have to say, but it's helpful because you don't need a page builder or a landing page builder or your own website to be getting registration. So registrations, it's easy. So without your own software, so that's helpful, and they have some okay templates. And I'm saying okay because I'm comparing that with perhaps lead pages or other landing page builders that are more extensive. Yes, this is also something that's really nice, the pre-webinar notifications. So there you're able to notify people during or before and after a webinar. It's helpful, that's built in. And this is also something what I really like, the active offers. So during a webinar, you can insert an offer and have a button that people can buy or go to a page or go to a worksheet that's helpful with during the webinar. And that's pretty helpful. A panic button, I don't know. That's strange for me. I mean, why do you need a panic button if something is working well? You won't really need that. And I found it, not useful at this moment still. The Pulse and Survey, they work well. Pulse, also the presentation, I will show you how I did this. And it's browser-based, so no downloads for your clients, helpful. Okay, these are all stuff you could also find browsing the web page. But hey, how does it really work? Let's just dive in. You have two types of software. Last thing, before we dive in, Webinarjam, that's the live webinars you're probably going to use. And if you would like to automate your webinar, you could with every webinar. Okay, let's dive into Webinarjam. Okay, you're seeing your webinars here. Those are from webinars from my friends. And you see this is your homepage. And going back to Webinarjam again. And you see your webinars. Okay, that's cool because you also now are able to clone a current webinar or webinar that you just recently done. Copy that with the registration page and all the emails and all the other materials you personally edited. And that's something I do really, really like. Of course, you have your analytics of the webinar. You have your registrants, people that are registered for the webinar, and you get some training. Cool. Okay, let's just try to clone one of my last goal retreats. And then you will see something like this. And this is the configuration part. You have all these steps to configure your webinar. And it looks like a lot, but it's not. And it's not. No, I mean, for me, it's not, of course. I know sometimes for you, it can be a little bit harder. Of course, you have your settings here. Nothing to review about that. It's useful. Webinar presenters, you can just have your webinar there. And you can have it streamed to YouTube Live as well. I haven't done this because, I just want to hold a webinar, not a YouTube Live. Otherwise, I could maybe use some other software, but it's useful. And when I tried this maybe a few years ago, Webinarjam was not super fast. Super fast. It has some buffer time between me and the attendees. So when I said something, maybe 30 seconds later, the attendee was hearing this. And that's sometimes pretty irritating. Now with Webinarjam Live, their new cutting edge private broadcast network, it's fast. So I don't know, there was not a lot of delay, maybe not even. So that's nice, their streaming service. And then they have the schedules. And that's something I like pretty well as well, because you can have one single session on one single date, like shown here, but also multiple sessions. So from the same webinar. And somebody now on the registration page gets the option to select at what time they want to attend. That's pretty nice. And also a recurring session. I don't know why you would use that, but maybe, like I said, every day. Hey, I'm doing a webinar every day at that and that time, and you're registering for every event, So that's an option there. And I have to save a date, I guess. So let me do that. System alert. Select date. Okay. Next week I'm going to do a webinar. Select the time at 1 a.m. Crazy time. Now let's do it at 10. And adding that. So now it's added, and I'm doing a webinar now, the 22nd of April. Okay, confirm, next. Then the registration page. And that's something I'm comparing now with Zoom Webinar, for example. That's cool because now you get your own design. Let me show you. Can have your own design and build it up in minutes. For example, yeah, I'm just grabbing one, and you will see that it looks pretty nice with the SCAD movie. If you have your own movie, you can of course place it here pretty easy by just pressing on the pencil and inserting your own video. And you have your own details here. Save it. And you're probably already done with the landing page. And like I said, that's something I do really like because it's laser fast. And let me show you how the timer as well works. Now I have it's not official, but you see it here now. People can register. That doesn't work now in the test trial, but this is minutes. And yes, I do like that. If you don't want to use this is also possible. You can also have your own registration page. So I've used that. Let me see if I can go to. Yeah, you can just customize your own design, have it on your own URL, and you have to place like a little embedded code on your own landing page software. And that also does the trick. So those are possibilities. And yeah, enable split testing. Wow, how cool. So you can split. Perhaps you have 50 or 100 visitors, 50 go to page A, 50 go to page B, and you will see what page works the best. And pretty nice that it's just built into the software. So that's something I like. I do really like. Then the registration form design, yeah, that's fun as well. So yeah, you can design your own form, but I don't like that you're not able to edit or get this time zone away and other stuff away. I mean, that's an all in English, and I have a Dutch audience, for example, so that's a slight thing I don't really like. I mean, I don't need people to select their time zone and that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's just a small con maybe. Cool. Registration form. So yeah, you can edit the form field. So only name, email, and maybe telephone number or something. That's cool. You can password protect. That's nice. And yeah, you have the webinar, your email gateway. So reminder notifications. And that's fun because now you can edit all those pre-webinar notifications for, hey guys, I'm going up in 10 minutes or 20 minutes. And now you're able to edit that in the system. And I've copied a session from before. So I hope my notifications will be on point at the moment. And you can send those out with Webinarjam email or your own gateways and that kind of stuff, or your own autoresponder. That's cool. I've just used the Webinarjam email and I didn't really got any complaint. I know before I had some complaints and used my own system. And I had some complaints about emails coming into the spam folder. So I haven't heard that now from my whole audience and also from my other clients that are using the same system. Like I said, the notification emails. You see here now, these are, Dutch titles, but I can have a welcome message immediately after somebody registrates for the webinar, and also 15 minutes before the webinar. So that's cool. And of course you can add new, add more, add a call, add a SMS, if you have the phone numbers. Wow, cool. Of course, also the post. And yeah, I like this because now I can, if I would like to do this webinar again, this is the online goal retreat, I can just say, hey, let me see how this is work. Yeah, this is the same because the date is inserted automatically by Webinarjam, the time as well, the live link as well. Yeah, don't really need to change anything. I like that. That makes life easier. I can also see, hey, reminder email, is this correct? Reminder, we are almost going live. The online girl retreat is going to start in 30 minutes. Use the link below. And yeah. That's nice. So I like that because I don't need to organize that much. I like to have events without organizing that much. Next thing that can be helpful is, of course, integration with your email marketing system. So you can configure that with Aweber, Kartra, ActiveCampaign, all these other systems. You can just integrate it, or with a Zap. So you can perhaps zap it to a Google Sheet or something else. Helpful. So that's possible. And of course, also third-party tracking, like with a pixel on your Facebook or Google Analytics. So helpful. And that's something that's lacking most of the time with, for example, Webinarjam, Zoom Webinar. Survey your resistance, yeah, okay. Thank you page design. That's something I didn't really like. You could not use your own thank you page. You have to use one of them. And I've took some trouble to make my own landing page for registration. And then people are landing on, a Webinarjam registration page. And yeah, it's a small con, but I think, hey, when I'm taking the trouble to make my own, I just wanted to have it perfect, you know? So I've created this one with my picture here, and hey, your place is registered, and with the details here. So it looks perfect, looks okay. Nothing wrong. Save and exit. So this is the page builder. Sorry, I'm going pretty fast here probably. So this is the thank you page, and then you have the live session. So you have a countdown page design, so where people are seeing, hey guys, we're almost starting. So if people sign up before the webinar, like that. So let me show you. Hey, we're almost starting. The webinar is starting in a few minutes, in a few days or a few minutes. So nice. And probably you can also link to some handouts before. So if people are signing up in 5 minutes before the webinar, they see, hey, you can already download the handouts and have a link to those handouts and that kind of stuff. And helpful. I haven't made that page yet. And I think perhaps it's a new feature. The webinar room design. So yeah, you can select some colors, how the room will look, but not with your own brand colors of that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's cool, but yeah, why not just give me the option to use my own brand design? The polls discussed, cool. Product offers, yeah, I like that because like I said, you can now insert your own offer during a webinar. I will show you in a live webinar shortly. So you can insert your own offers like that. Also with the video ejections, like I said, you can insert a video during a webinar. This you need to look, you need to see how this works. File, and so slide presentations, also something that I really like because now I don't need to share my screen. I exported my presentation in Keynote, or my Keynote presentation in PDF, uploaded it here, and it's, I don't know, working faster. So webinar replay recording, okay, that's cool. And I have to say, that's something people really like because you can also have a replay replica. And I mean, the replay is almost, it looks like a real webinar happening. People also see the comments that people were making. So it looks like sometimes a little bit more live instead of just a regular session. So, but also, of course, you're also able to redirect to an external website where you have your video hosted, Expertise, that kind of stuff. So that's like a lot of things I really like. And for example, now I'm almost ready to just forward people to do the registration page to promote it, but also useful, I can embed it into my own page. So I can change that color to my own design, the button color, and I have this in Dutch, registreer, have my own page, and I can embed this into my own page or with a button. I like that. It's snappy. It's quick. So cool. The Liveroom, when I want to start the webinar, I will do this shortly to show you how that works, the chat log, server result, that kind of stuff. But this is, I like that. Other advanced feature is that you can have your audience when you have an email list, you can just use the one-click registration, and people will see just one link they can press, and immediately they're registered to the webinar. That's cool. So these are a few things I love and like about Webinarjam. Let me just run a test. Let me see how that works. So I can now go to the Liveroom and do a real webinar. So this is my last minute checklist. I can start the audio, can test everything, test video, test audio, select my microphone, select my webcam, and enter the room. And this is a test. I also like that there's this option of testing the webinar. That gives you some trust and removes the fear of the tech that's needed. And you have your room here. This is what you see as a host. So I can now start the webcam. I can now start the audio. I can also turn screen sharing on. I can show a whiteboard. And if the webinar will be started, I can see attendees dropping in, update attendees, and I will see new attendees. I can see the chat. And that's a nice feature of the chat, is that you have sticky messages, like I maybe said on the marketing page, you could see, but also people can chat with each other, and I can highlight posts, and I can also say highlight posts and show them live. That's nice. I have the polls, so I can start a poll immediately, and now the poll is started. Hey, where are you following this webinar from? Home, or the office. It's a little joke. I can show offers and put them in during the webinar. I can have videos, like I said. I had some videos with a timer. Let me show you. I can just start this video now and just play the video during the webinar with the music. So this is now, if I would be live with an audience, people could immediately see this this video. It looks like a slide with a timer, but it's a real actual video, and it's playing now with some music. You won't hear that now in doing this video, but yeah, it's there, trust me. And if I want to put the video on, it would look like this. You see me here with the webcam here. You can even change that, the position. You can also turn the audio on. I can even have like a whiteboard on top of that. And I can say, hey, the transparency is there, and I can draw some stuff during a live session. And this is pretty neat. So also, let me stop the video, exit, go back on air, stop video. All right. I can share some files. I'm turning that webcam off. I can share some files. I can share some slides, like I said. So I can now start the presentation, and this is now live. And see how fast and snappy this works. I like that. That's pretty cool. So I can start the presentation here, go next. I can even say, hey, I want some other transitions if I would like to, and I don't like that actually, but it's an option. And yeah, also on these slides, you can just turn this whiteboard on, set the transparency, what you like, and draw something, or sign, type something. I like that. That's pretty neat. Also, can clear it immediately, turn it off, and works. And yeah, you can have somebody with some requests pending. So if somebody has a request, want to go on the air, you're able to do that. And next, of course, when you're ready to go live, you can just press go live, and yeah, suddenly you're live. And when there's trouble or something, you can use the panic button. I don't know. This is a cool feature. So I think I discussed everything, and this, I don't know. This is good. This is quality. This is work. It's working, and it's also pretty simple. There's nothing more to it, and I think that makes it hopeful for you as well. Last thing I wanted to discuss, because now you know, hey, it's easy to use. Marketing-wise, it's pretty nice because you have those landing pages, those thank you pages, those notification emails. It's set up in minutes instead of hours. Let me show you how I've created my own website for it. What was the name? Goal Retreat, I guess. Let me show you. I've created my own page for the Goal Retreat, and the webinar now has expired, you see. But normally, if it would not be expired, you would see the registration options here. So this is a page on your own website. Okay, last thing, perhaps pricing, because this webinar this video can be so long now. Let me show you. There's always this 30-day risk-free money-back guarantee. So if you planned a webinar for maybe next week, yeah, why not try it out? Because there's this 30-day risk-free money-back guarantee, and I can tell you, my clients tested this time and time again, and they're not that hard when you say, hey guys, I don't like it, or I'm not using it anymore. So that's pretty nice. And then you have these options. When I bought it, I have to be honest, those weren't the options. There was just one option. I don't know the price anymore, but we paid it with a full license forever, for a forever license, for example, for something, I don't know the exact name again, but we paid one fee. Now it's $4.99 a year, and there's only a yearly options, and I don't really like that, because why do I need to buy a year immediately? I'm always advising that with tech software to buy a year, because it's easier for invoices. You have just one invoice a year, so financial wise, it's most of the time cheaper. And if you compare it to Zoom, Webinar Geek, and other webinar software, the price is almost the same if you calculate it by the month. So that's fair. So it's not more expensive, but yeah, that you only have this option for a year. I don't know. I don't really like that. Other thing is that I don't really get the professional and basic level and the enterprise. I mean, yeah, I get it. You have more attendees. Okay. Most of the time for my clients, 500 attendees will be more than enough. 2 hours max will be also more than enough. And then you need to pay extra for the panic button. I don't really get it. And always on Liveroom. What's that? Yours alone. Okay, yeah, that you have like your own room for your company. So if you also want to do meetings like maybe you're now doing with Zoom Web or with Zoom, you have your own URL where everybody can just go to and have a meeting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, paying that amount extra. I don't know. I would still prefer for myself Zoom meeting instead of Webinarjam for meetings. Webinarjam is webinar software from in my case, not meeting software, but okay. And so yeah, my advice: go for the basic, and it's more than enough. Yeah, guys, I hoped you liked this review. If you have any questions, just drop them here in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, I've also entered my affiliate link for Webinarjam. You're not paying anything extra, but you're helping me keeping this channel up. So I would be really thankful if you did. Thank you for watching again, and hey, see you guys later. Whoops, I stopped the recording, but then I saw, hey, wait guys, don't leave before you read this. Get Webinarjam for $1 now. Get your 14-day $1 trial today. Okay, cool. That's interesting. I mean, this is an offer that is interesting, and why are you not seeing this? Because I was not leaving the page, but when I did, I wanted to leave the page with my mouse going away or something, and this pop-up came up. So that's a good tip for you guys, and I will post it also in the description. $1 tryout of Webinarjam. Okay, makes sense, and probably more interested for you now. So again, sorry for this bite after the video is finished, but still hopeful, helpful. Thank you. See you guys later.